Hello and welcome to How to Set Up Poseidon for BentoBox. First of all, let's download the add-on. And the best way to do that is to go to the Download BentoBox World website, where we have already created a package for you, the Poseidon package, which includes a whole bunch of add-ons. And once you click download, it will download BentoBox and the add-ons all in one go. So the next thing you need to do is upload those to your server. And here's an example of the layout. So you've got the BentoBox plugin in the plugins, and then you've got the BentoBox folder with the various add-ons on. Once you've done that, then start the server. And I'm running locally here. And I will just run through exactly what's going on as the server starts. So it brings up all of the regular files, and then it will start to create the Poseidon world. And you can see here that it says you're going to see an error, but you should be able to ignore it. And that will come up shortly. You'll see it in red. There you go. So just ignore those. And now what's happening is the server has started. It's loaded all the various add-ons, and it's started to pre-generate the chunks. Now, before we get to that, let's just check that everything is loaded. And you can do that by using BBox V or BBox version. And you can see they're all loaded here fine. And pre-generation occurs when no players are on the server. Now, before we do anything, let's set up the challenges for Poseidon. Those are really important. Those are what tell the story. And so you can do that using the padmin challenges command. And to do that, you must be op. So I'm just going to pull the window here. And of course, this is something that you will need to do as well. Make yourself op. There we go. And now you can run this command. So challenges are really a crucial part of the Poseidon game. And so I'm just going to show you how to import them. And you've got various things that you can do. You can create your own if you like, but really the most important one, I think, is the library. So click on that, and right in the middle, you should see the Poseidon challenges. So there are some others for the sky blocks and things like this, but click on the Poseidon one, and then you'll need to confirm it. So go into chat and type confirm, and it will import all of the challenges. So let's go and have a look at them. One way to do that is to look at the levels, and you can see we've got 5 different levels here. You have various levels of difficulty. So the starting one, Tide Pool. Here we have the initial challenges, and you'll see that they all have a reward of a written book, and that is because there is kind of like a story that goes on. And if we skip right to the end, you can see that we have some final written books there. I hope it's going to be fun. All right, let's look at the config file. So we're going to get into a little bit of well, details to say the least. So first of all, the pre-generation segment. So uh, this can run continuously or can run after a period of time. So it's currently set up to just pre-generate after every second, and to pre-generate up to 10 realms, so 10 starting areas. This should probably be enough. I don't recommend you need to change to have more than 10 pre-generated in advance. You may want to change the continuous to true if you have a good computer that has a lot of power. That will just try to maximize and create those chunks as fast as possible. Moving on, we've got the rest of the we've got air effect. So this is what will happen if the player goes out into the air. So there's a few things here. We've got grace period, the amount of damage it will do, the amount of time that a player can get by drinking water. And also, this little bit here is about whether Poseidon's children, which is really the players, will be ignored or not. Got the commands. These are pretty standard to all BentoBox game modes. The name of the world. The realm trees, so these are how much percent of the world will be covered by trees. 25% is quite a lot, but I like to give them, and also the turtle egg chance, that's a good one. I've gameplayed this. The fisherman, 1% chance in a chunk. And then we've got all the different realm trees that you can actually have. Some of these are set to 0 because I don't, for example, think that there should necessarily be a jungle bush, but you could change that if you like, or a crimson fungus in the overworld. But these are really just actually for use in the overworld. Tree, by the way, is just the standard oak tree. Difficulty set to normal. You could change this to hard if you like, or easy. Spawn limits, these are pretty normal for these type of games. The distance between realms is 400, so that's a radius, and the same with the protection range. So realms are really 800, actually 800 from center to center. Start X, start Z, Z, off X, and also I'd ignore those. Don't worry about those. And then we've got the location where the blueprints will be pasted. So this is where people start. The actually most of the blueprints in Poseidon have been set to sync. So when they do sync, they will actually sync to the highest block in the water, which should be the ocean floor. Randomly, it may be something else. Who knows? The number of concurrent realms. So I set this to 10. That enables everyone to have up to 10 different realms. That, to be honest, yeah, is quite generous. But I was thinking that maybe you'd want to allow people to build consecutive realms around themselves. Who knows? But you could change that to 1. Ignore the user and generator. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Sea height is 70. Sea floor is 25. That's a good. And the rest of the config is pretty standard. So let's look at the starter recs, the blueprints. There are 3. We have the monumental wreck, which is a monument. We've got shipwrecked and Poseidon's realm. So actually, the monumental wreck is it's a shipwreck, but it's got some extra monuments around it that have some trial spawners in them. You arrive in this boat, and you can see we've got the sign. The boat is embedded in some reef in this particular instance. It isn't always. It really depends on what the ocean floor is like. But in this example, you can see that the empty space is used. So let's have a look at Poseidon's realm. This is a wreck, but a side slanted boat in a uh, coral reef. There we go. So this one, the boat is lying on its side. The coral reef surrounds it. It will sit on the bottom. There are a few artifacts. Hello, drowned. There are some other artifacts there. Sometimes it cuts in. The middle one is kind of just a shipwreck of it's the same as the monumental wreck, but it doesn't have the monuments around it. So in this case, it has embedded itself in again, and the shipwreck is below the sand in this particular instance. It isn't always, it really depends on the ocean floor as to how deep it goes. These ravines are randomly generated, so they may or may not be there. Sometimes they're full of water, sometimes they have air in them. It depends how they've been generated. So I'll let you explore these various blueprints and you can decide whether to enable them or disable them. I hope you enjoy playing. Please download. Go to the Download BentoBox World site. Have fun!